At the closing of the first Down syndrome camp, the closing evening, and that's always quite an evening. To use Vicky's term in her native language, it's kind of an ole evening. And anyway, there was a camper there by the name of Jessica Lindholm, granddaughter of Frank and Margaret Lindholm of our congregation. And Jessica came back as an alumna. And now in her 20s, she was there for the very first Down syndrome camp ever held there at Camp Knutson. And there she was, and it came that time when all of a sudden music broke forth and started to waft over the grounds, and it was music to dance by. And her eyes just lit up. And she went out there with the rest of the campers, and did they dance? Did they dance? And as I watched Jessica dance, I was reminded of a little plaque that hangs in the living room of our daughter and son-in-law's home. And it reads simply, "Dance like no one is watching." A lot of meaning in that. But in the very most literal sense of the word, I cannot dance like no one is watching. I feel everyone is watching. And part of my problem, Pastor Mark, those of you students at Gustavus, is when I was there, dancing was not allowed. Not allowed, verboten. When Jessica came back after dancing, we complimented her on how well she did. And what I wanted to ask Jessica, I didn't, but I wanted to ask her, Jessica, will you teach me how to dance? We have so much to learn from these campers. The meaning and the depth of joy and kindness and courage. Some time back, I shared the story of Woody. You recall he was the fellow who, after 4th grade, came to Camp Knutson for his very first time to the heart disease camp, for Woody was one in virtually every camper there at a heart disease camp, and this year we have 4 has had open heart surgery. And Woody was the lad who, when he went home after his first year, he was so excited he couldn't wait to tell his buddies what a good time he had. And he went on, and his buddies said, "Woody, we want to go to your camp next year." And Woody said, "Sorry guys, to go to my camp, you have to have a special heart. You have to have a special heart." And to see now, Woody has been now at camp for 5 consecutive years, and to see how he has developed in self-confidence and what it must mean to him to be with others in similar situations, to see how he has matured. Camp Knutson has played a big part in his life. And just last Thursday, Woody had another open heart surgery at Mayo Clinic, and we hear he's doing beautifully. And now he's on a floor at the clinic, the hospital, with 2 other fellows, 2 other buddies who have been to Camp Knutson as well. And when they see one another, we're told that they give each other a Camp Knutson high five. Isn't that neat? Finally, these words from Jolita. Jolita is a single mom, Afro-American, with 3 children living in the inner city of Minneapolis. And she is struggling with AIDS. And this is what she has to say about Camp Knutson. The staff and the counselors there are very kind. It doesn't matter to them if you have AIDS or not. They make you feel like someone. At camp, you don't have to worry about your children because the counselors here play with them with such grace and such joy. Camp brings hope and joy to us who sometimes forget that there is hope. We just need the right people to remind us that there is hope. It's still there, even though sometimes we forget. 4 stories, which I believe are somewhat representative of 1,200 stories that could be told every summer of what Camp Knutson means to them. And thank God, and thank you for being such channels of love through your labors of love, through your gifts of love, to make such a difference in the lives of these special people at that special place called Camp Knutson. Amen.